It's time for the 3:30 Focus with Ted London, powered by the law offices of Ted London and Associates.
Touching the deepest part of me, you open my heart, revealing to me the mystery. You never grow old to me. With you, each day is new. For all that you've done for me, I give my life to you.
We are back on the all-new afternoon show with Atiba and LaDonna Ray. Mm-hmm. It's 3:40, and that, on a Thursday, that can only mean one thing, that it is time to be joined by the man, the myth, the legend, attorney Ted Theodore London. How you doing?
Did you say
Hey, Mr. Atiba, how are you this afternoon?
I am fantastic.
You said Theodore? You said his whole name?
I did.
Did he say my whole? I missed that.
He did. I wanted you to know that. And you know something? Someone pointed out your name because they went
What's
to
that?
a movie screening and your name
wow.
was in the credits.
I was in the credit. I surely
Yes.
was. But you know what? I don't think we're supposed to be talking about that right now, though.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I don't think
That's right.
Yeah, I don't think that was a screening, not a premiere. And I don't know if we should be talking about that right now, but nevertheless, it was, since you mentioned it. Yes, my name was in the movie, I guess, so to speak.
So you're a
But,
big Jonathan Butler fan, attorney?
I love Jonathan Butler.
That's who that was, right?
That's exactly who that was, Atiba. That is Color Green by Jonathan Butler. Terrific tune.
Excellent. It really, I
Terrific
love him. He's so underestimated. All right, attorney. We're fantastic. How are you, good sir? I know you got some business.
You know what? Again, whenever I'm here on a Thursday afternoon on the legal line here at 3:30 on WVON, what else could it be but a great day? I'm so grateful to be here, and as always, it is a pleasure and a privilege to join Mr. Atiba and Miss LaDonna Ray here this afternoon, and it's my pleasure. So business is, I have to say hello to my beautiful, wonderful wife, Kelly, who is listening. Denham, our grandson, was just in our office. She's literally leaving from picking him up from our office. Denham's in from Houston, 6-year-old grandson. So I promised that he was going to be on the show today, but he was worked out of being in my office all day today, so he wanted to leave, and so he's with his grandmother, Kelly, now. And to all of you who tune in to the Legal Line every Thursday, I just want to thank you so very much for tuning in. We're so grateful that you take some time to spend with us on Thursdays, get some information, have a couple of laughs, listen to a good tune, and you guys have been doing that for so many years now. We're just so grateful for you, and thank you very much for it.
Awesome.
Amen. So what's the hot topic for today, good sir?
Well, you know what? It's been one more quick announcement before we get started. You know what? Next week I'm having Ms. Mary Green come on. Of course, Mary Green is the founder of Black Women's Expo, which is going to start coming up the first weekend of August. And I am going to be a presenter there. We're going to have a booth set up there as well. So Mary Green is going to join us next Thursday to share some information about what's going to be occurring at this year's Black Women Expo. It's going to be at McCormick Place. It's going to be a great time. A lot of information. This place is always packed, and so Mary's going to join us next week to share a little bit of information about what's going to be going on at this year's Black Women's Expo.
Oh, looking forward to that. That is always a great event. It's been, what is it, 25? It was a little over 25 years now.
I think, if I'm not badly mistaken, I think this is the 25th year anniversary.
Fantastic.
If I'm not badly mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I think it is.
Excellent. All right, so now what we got?
And
I'm excited. I can't wait to hear it.
Let's do some work here. So it's been a really interesting week in our office this week. Of course, many of the listeners know, for those who don't, I'm an attorney. We do estate planning for families. We do probate for families, and we handle personal injury matters for families. So, again, I do this segment on the Legal Line called Tales from the Law Office. That's when we talk about some of the kind of matters we've had in our office in the previous week. So this is a Tales from the Law Office segment. That means I want to tell you about some of the kind of cases that we handled this week. Had a gentleman come into our office this week. I think he said he was 60 years old. He's telling me about how his wife passed away. They've been married for 30 years. Wife was 55 years old. The wife had no previous health conditions, had only been in the hospital, he said, during the course of their 30-year marriage. One time, many years ago, something really insignificant, short time, stay in the hospital. They go to bed one evening, no problem. He wakes up in the morning, calls his wife to wake her up. She will not wake up. He kind of touched her to kind of nudge her to wake her up. And what he's telling me is as soon as he touched her, he realized that she had passed away. So he said she passed away in her sleep. He didn't know it. Woke up after 30 years of marriage. She's 55 years old, passed away. They're both professionals. She had her own accounts. He had his own accounts. She did not had a significant amount of money in her accounts as well, 401s, IRAs at her job. Did not have named beneficiaries on those accounts. And so now they have to go through the probate process because there's a significant amount of money in those accounts. If it were less than $100,000 in those accounts, a family can use what's called a small estate affidavit to collect the money. But because it's over $100,000, and in this case, significantly more than $100,000, now the family has to go through the probate process. Husband's going to be entitled to half of the money. Their one son's going to be entitled to the other half of the money. It's going to be significant for both of them, even though this is a fairly well-to-do family. Husband's doing well, notwithstanding the wife's passing. But again, she has a significant amount of money. They're going to divide the money. Son's a professional young man as well. And so the issue is now they have to go through the probate process to collect the money, simply because she didn't do one thing, which we see time and time again, that is, she did not have named beneficiaries on all of her financial accounts. So because she didn't have named beneficiaries, which is free to do, folks, you need to make sure that you and your loved ones, particularly spouses as well, you all have named beneficiaries on every one of your accounts, because if you don't, if someone goes to heaven, if you will, then the families are going to have to go through the probate process, and we talk about that all the time. That is an expensive, time-consuming, stressful process, which can be avoided by doing what, T-Ben, Ms. LaDonna? I'll answer it for you.
By
adding beneficiaries on your accounts.
There you go.
I was just going to say calling Attorney Ted London. Right.
Call Ted London. Call Ted London. Well, you don't have to call me because I'm telling you now. Go to your banks, go to your 401ks, go to your IRAs, make sure that your life insurances have current named beneficiaries on them. I say current because we've seen folks who have passed away and they have people that are named as beneficiaries that have passed away before them. We've seen people that are named beneficiaries where the loved ones, they don't have a clue of who this named beneficiary is. We had a case not long ago where the gentleman went to work. He was a young guy, 48 years old, passed away at work, had a $500,000 life insurance policy, had been married to his second wife for over 8 years, never changed the first wife as a named beneficiary. First wife gets $500,000 tax-free lump sum. So not only must you have beneficiaries, please make sure that they are current.
Ooh, so that second one stung. That stung.
Well, can you and the second wife was our client. So can you imagine? I can only imagine the first wife thinking, "I deserve it anyway." And but the second wife, our client, she was not happy. And she was not happy. And nothing she could do. The lady was the named beneficiary. She was entitled to the money. So, folks, please make sure that you have current beneficiaries on every one of your accounts. I can't tell you how often we have clients that come in that estates must be probated for the families to collect the money simply because they don't have current named beneficiaries on the account. So it is free to do. Please do it.
I'm glad you reiterated that because I'm thinking about, I went through a divorce and I'm not sure if I made those changes.
Yeah, we see it time and time again. Now, that was the largest case we've seen like that where was $500,000 insurance policy, but we've seen it with the $25,000 or $50,000 insurance policies. But nevertheless, that is significant money to folks, and it's going to go a different direction if you don't update your named beneficiaries. Well, then we had a couple that had come into our office this week as well. They have been married for 55 years. So 55 years of marriage, have 5 children, 4 or 5 properties, and they're trying to figure out how the properties are going to be divided. No mortgages on the property. They're trying to determine how their property is going to be divided. Well, I was telling them I have a rule of thumb, and that is if you have at least 3 children, one of them's a problem. They have 5 children, so they have 1.25 problems. Now, I don't know who it is, but they do. And so when I said this, kind of a joke, but not so much, they both kind of smiled at each other, and they know they had one of the daughters with them. And she said, well, I'm not the problem one, implying that there's another 1 or 2 that's problematic. And so they want the properties divided. They don't want one of the daughters to get all of her money in a lump sum. And so they're trying to figure out, well, how do we do that? Well, the way that we do that is we put their properties in what's called a living trust. And that way they can get to name 1 or 2 of the children to manage the properties to get them sold, and they're going to outline how the money is going to be divided. And the one daughter's, her portion is going to be paid out to her incrementally. So we can do that. It's very seamless. It's very uncomplicated. They get to accomplish what they want. All the children will get their portion, but this one, because of her personal habits, if you will, is not going to get her portion in a lump sum. So it is so important for families where they have children who may need a little regulation in terms of the money that they're going to get from you as a parent when you go to heaven, if you will. Because one of the things that we do know is that we're in the midst of the greatest wealth transfer in the history of the world. That is, baby boomers are leaving more money to their children and grandchildren than ever before. And guess what? That includes black folks.
Yeah,
black
absolutely.
folks have money, and they have real estate, and they have done well for themselves, particularly the ones who are a little bit more senior, who are retired. Their homes are paid for. They have multiple properties. They have lifelong pensions. They don't spend as much. They're accumulating more. Well, they're not going to be able to take it with them. So someone's going to get all of this, and you want to make sure that your money is going to go to whom you want to have it, and they're going to get it the way you want them to have it, and you can do that with some estate planning.
Attorney London, I just want to thank you for these harrowing tales that you share with us. They're not only entertaining in it, but they're also informative, and I'm hoping that people literally walk away with the lessons that you are giving us, from these other people making these mistakes. So, again, phone lines are open. That's it. 773-591-1690. Attorney London is on the line, and he is live. Give a call right now to get your questions answered. Go ahead, Attorney.
Well, the good news is, Atiba, that they do get the information. I'm so happy to say that we are starting to see younger people and younger families coming in to do estate planning. For years, our average client was about 80 years old. We had a lot of retired educators, and the educators, they come in the most frequently. They are our number one client by profession, retired educators, but they were coming in later. They were coming 80, 82, 83, 85. So what that says about them is they are living longer. They all look beautiful when they come in. Once they stop teaching and get out of the schools with them bad kids like I was, they snap back, they look good, they're healthy, and they're living longer. But I'm grateful to see that we're seeing clients coming in now 55, 60, 62, 63, and folks aren't necessarily waiting until they're 80 plus to come in. I mean, better late than never, but still, I'm happy to see that younger people are getting some information, and they have homes. Their homes are paid for as well, close to being paid for, and they're making sure that their loved ones are not going to have to go through this probate process. Another thing, if I can just say one more thing, I am so grateful for the listeners because you all do a terrific job, and we're so grateful for it. You share the information with your friends and family, and you're referring your friends and families to our office, and we're so grateful that we're able to serve them. But they tell us when they come in that you referred them to our office, and that's how we get the pleasure of serving them as a result of your referrals. And to all of you, thank you so very much. We can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, we got a solid 5-6 minutes left, Attorney.
You know what? So let's pivot just a bit. So I cannot have a 55-year married couple in my office and not get some information. Yes. And this couple was so articulate about the issue that I presented to them, I should probably almost have them on the show. So, of course, if I have a couple that's been married for 40, 45, 50, 55 years, my number one question is, what is the secret to this long marriage? And so, of course, I asked this couple, and they were both very precise in their answers, and they had different answers. The wife indicated that the bottom line is you have to have Christ in your life, period. You know, a marriage is about forgiveness, compassion, trust, respect. That's what the wife said. The wife, being married for 55 years, her answer to the question being, how do you sustain a 55-year marriage? Let me repeat it. You have to have Christ in your life, and there's some particular elements that she outlined: forgiveness, compassion, trust, respect. I had another client that came in this week. I got good news. He had come in maybe a month or so ago, and he's been a long-term client and a friend as well, and he indicated that his wife had filed for a divorce after 23 years. And you know, he's kind of shaken up about it. They've been struggling a little bit, and you know, he's asked me, what should I do? Well, I don't handle divorces. Definitely don't want to handle yours. I referred him to a lawyer that handles divorces. Hired the lawyer. She filed a response to the petition for this divorce, and I invited this gentleman to church on Wednesdays. There's a men's service at Pastor Hall's church on 80th in Michigan every Wednesday in the month of July that I went to. I've been inviting some guys. We had about 20 guys that joined us yesterday. He gave me good news yesterday that his wife asked him, can they talk about how they can resolve their issues so they can stay married. So that was really, really good news, because he was kind of distraught that she had filed for the divorce, even though they had been struggling for some time. And then he had kind of checked out, said, if this is what she wants, let her have it, I'm done. But now she's saying, hey, let's see if we can reconcile this. And so I'm so grateful to hear that. He's all open to that, because I'm trying to encourage him to you need to stay married, because for lack of if for no other reason, it is cheaper to keep her. But of course, that's not the only reason. But that is true as well. Here is what the husband said about how to maintain a 55-year marriage. In his response was very direct, and it was very simple. He said simply, you just have to have the will to stay married. You have to have the will to stay married. He was saying that there's so many folks who are just so willy-nilly will get divorced, and the research suggests that I think up to 70% of people regret getting divorced after 3 years. Mm-hmm. That's what the research suggests. So he said you have to have the will to stay married. So if you combine those two things, I see why they've had a successful 55-year marriage. If you combine forgiveness, compassion, trust, respect, as that's what the missus says that you need to have a 55-year marriage, and you couple that with having the will to stay married, how can you not win in a long-term marriage? So that's just some of the information that I got from them. I'm just happy to be sharing it with the listeners this afternoon. Hopefully that will benefit some couple that may be contemplating separation. Have a will, get Christ-centered, have some forgiveness, offer some compassion, trust, and some respect, and maybe you can have a 55-year marriage as well. They are happy. They have accomplished quite a bit, accumulated quite a bit, and sometimes that's what it takes to have that kind of 55-year marriage or so.
Well, Attorney, the information that you are giving is not for naught. Pam Moore says on the chat, great information. And Brother Wall corrected us to let us know that the Black Women's Expo is celebrating year 30. So 30. So they are listening.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So I love to be corrected when I misspeak. Thank you very much, Brother Wall, for calling and correcting us. Pam Morris, absolutely adore her. Of course, that is our gospel sister that we hear her every Sundays. That's so right. Glad she is listening to the Legal Line this afternoon. And again, WVON has the best listeners in the country. I wish people could just see the faces of the WVON listeners and what they do for the community. There's so many influential people out there who are listening, who share this information with friends, families, and neighbors. And again, on behalf of everyone associated with the WVON, again, thank you.
We got about 40 seconds left, Attorney.
40 seconds. Well, again, I always invite listeners, if you happen to be in the area where my office is located, 1718 East 87th Street, feel free to stop in. Get a handful of candy. Listen, I've offered this handful of candy since the days of Cliff Kelly, and so we still have. And not only do we have candy, we have the good stuff. We have the Snickers, Milky Ways, Heath bars, chocolates. So none of this.
No bit of honeys.
You can't even find bitter honeys at T-Boy. What are you talking about? You couldn't find a bit of honey, and even if you could find a bit of honey at T-Boy, it would not even have the bit of honey in it.
That's right.
So there are no bitter honeys, but we get the good stuff, not the dollar store candy. So come in, say hello, please shake my hand, and get some information if you need it. And we're here to serve, and we make it very easy for you to get some information. Listen to WVON, call us at the office 773-721-3333, or just come in and say hello. Either way works for us.
There you go. Well, Attorney London, we thank you for another again information-filled interview today. Please keep it coming, and VON appreciates your partnership.
Well, I love you all very much. Again, Mary Green's going to be joining us next week, celebrating 30 years of Black Women's Expo. I am going to be there. I'm going to I'm going to be on one panel one day with Brother Carl West. Another day, I'm going to be doing a separate seminar on estate planning. So please come and join us, get some information, enjoy Black Women's Expo. Mary Green's going to be on with us next week to tell us all about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Until next week, Attorney.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
I was having a medical procedure, and I wanted to ensure my kids would get my home should something happen to me. I called Attorney Ted London. He provided a land trust and power of attorney. Now my kids would not have to go through the probate process.
After the death of my husband, I had to get my affairs in order. I called Attorney Ted London. Now my family and home will not have to go through the probate process.
When you need your estate plan done, call Attorney London.
773-721-3333.